All right, I want to capture what is, again, this is demonic activity at its core. This is the criminalization of that demonic activity because it's being engaged in concert and on behalf of a government. So this is very psychotic, very disturbing behavior. But this is the POC. So after I'm documenting speaker companies and I just captured that video, I immediately engage in what is my documentation. So you have what is a third party, but this is a demon. Remember, legally, you're going to prosecute because the government is vicariously keeping you under surveillance. That's a crime. Okay, there's no warrant or probable cause for the government to do it, nor can the government do it vicariously. And they're all demons. This is all demonic activity, and that's going to be prosecuted also as what is terrorism. This is also why you're going to be subject to federal prison, all those who live at the facilitating venue, providing that intolerable level of assistance to a government that's engaging in violating your constitutional and human rights. Okay, but while I just want to document Carmen Carreto. This is a demon who goes into the laundry room. But let me be clear. This is just the demon who showed her face. You have them engaging in what is group conduct. So you have what is also, remember, amplification. So you don't even have to necessarily be in that room for the entity to create the sounds that you're hearing supposedly being amplified through the wall. This is all demonic, okay? The light activity that you see in my office, that's demonic, okay? How do you prove that that happens but for documenting it? How do you prove the fact that the entity is stalking with light in my apartment on that ceiling? How do you describe that? How do you, this is demonic activity at its core. Understand that. So I want to be clear. You have what is Carmen Carreto. That's whose mug I just captured right now. But you have a demon that immediately, as I capture that video and I'm documenting speaker companies, there's a frenzy that the demon possessed go through. They continuously engage in the system. This is obsession. Stalking is born of obsession. Okay. So understand that the demon possessed are obsessed and they're engaging in criminal conduct. They're stalking. They're stalking in a specific environment, a readily identifiable environment. And I just took pictures. It's currently 3:26 p.m. You'll see the light source viewable through the window of the laundry room. Okay, this is already the POC. Everybody here is going to federal prison. You already know this. The light source is rising and setting here. The laundry room in and of itself, you can isolate it to the laundry room. It's POC. As early as 8:47 in the morning, 4:18 in the afternoon, I've gone and documented not only the light source, which is over in relevant position to the laundry room. You're not doing anything but stalking in the laundry room. In other words, engaging in surveillance in a laundry room, entirely pathetic. Okay, and then that demon-possessed entity that's stalking and obsessed with the target individual tries to engage in passive-aggressive acts like Yolanda Poon, a coward in Northern California, okay, who is engaging in trying to bully someone while the demons here fly over me by helicopter while we're in the midst of a conversation. That's an entity. That's how an entity is engaging in what is criminal activity. This is how a government, a demon-possessed entity, engages in what is bullying, psychologically torturing, tormenting, harassing as an entity. Okay, this is what demons are doing. This is demonic. So you have a frenzy that the demon possessed go through, and you have. I want to document this is harassment by an entity. It's in the workplace. It's legally relevant. And I went in there right now. Look at the images of what is engineered light that's all throughout that laundry room. I'm subject to a sex offense. I'm being molested with impossible light that's not only occurring on the floor. You see the contrary light, but then you see it's like a smoke in the shape of of a rectangle. That's light. It's light. It's just light that's coming out of nowhere. In other words, it's impossible light. It's absolutely demonic. All you're doing is stalking in there. Carmen Carreto, she's engaging in what is criminal surveillance. And this is a demon that goes in there. They just start slamming stuff all over that's all they're doing. They're going in there and making a whole bunch of noise because they know that I'm in here documenting. This is the frenzy that the demon possessed engage in. This is exactly what the demons flying helicopters do. As I start documenting the people of the state, this is what I was speaking to while I was in my apartment earlier. The light source is hovering over the edge of my apartment. It's not over 1810. It's not beside 1810, nowhere near 1810. I can't see 1810 or even I'm not even facing 1810 while it's hovering outside of my window of my living room or hovering over the edge of my apartment where my apartment is facing the hillside. Okay? 1810 is not facing the hillside. The entity is moving that light source, but you already know that. I just want to be clear. The LAPD, the demons that are these law enforcement agencies that are stalking, they engage, they are in a frenzy when I start documenting. This is absolutely psychotic conduct. They're fearful. They get into a frenzy, but they keep stalking. They do not stop. They don't stop. Okay. You have a demon that goes into there. They start making all kinds of noise, aware of the fact of what I'm documenting, not only what I'm gathering on the phone. They know every word, every syllable that I just uttered, including Yolanda Poon. Okay. That demon that's in Palo Alto, she knows exactly what I said about her, and it's the truth. And she is going to federal prison also. The entity is engaging in what is monitoring and goes into that laundry room. And while those demons go into a frenzy, engaging in that pattern of increasing increasing their psychotic behavior, making more noise. In other words, flying over more by helicopter. That's what those demons do in helicopter. That's them going into a frenzy. That's actually those demons that are fearful. But this is the false presentation of but you don't, I just want to clear. There's nothing strong in your appearance or presentation stalking somebody in a helicopter. You are actually, if you're able to dissect that, that's actually demonstrating fear because you have to go through. That's what makes you feel more powerful, to fly over and follow somebody and pursue somebody in a helicopter. That's what makes you feel like you're superior, and you're not. It's actually showing how small and pathetic and how dark you are. Okay, to engage in such a far-reaching, highly twisted manner of trying to bother someone who's not even concerned about you. I don't even know the target individual. Doesn't even know the people of the state or the government that's keeping them under surveillance. And let me be clear: at the core, these are demons. These are demons that are obsessed. I want to be clear. Stalking is born of obsession. Do not forget what this is about. Yes, you're criminalizing group stalking because it's a government, has no legal basis. This is the criminalization of demonic activity that a government is practicing. Yes. But let's get back down to the basics. Stalking is born of obsession. Okay, this is an obsession that the demon possessed have. This secret society has. There's nothing elite about the fact that you're obsessed with the targeted individual, and the fact that you are obsessed and cannot control yourself. That is speaking to what is necessarily brought into question in your federal prosecution, which is your mindset. This is why mental examinations are necessary and mandatory upon federal prosecution. These demons go into a frenzy. They go into a laundry room. The only demon that comes into cross path. Okay, that's how desperate they are, because they want to duck and dodge being identified. But then again, you can't avoid me because I'm the resident manager here, and also I'm documenting you. And they are so desperate that they will risk being caught on camera. They will risk being documented on video, because that's how desperate they are. That's how obsessed they are to continue to engage in the P.O.C. That's what LAPD is demonstrating, and that's legally relevant. You're going to prosecute them. That's why they're going into mental facilities. That's why they're going to federal prison. That's why. Okay, understand, stalking is born of obsession. Understand that. And it's demonic activity at its core. So I just want to document that, because this demon that goes into, or these demons, whoever they are, because the entity is employing amplification. The entity is engaging in what is fleeing, while they know the moment that I get up and I move, that demon already knows. And they flee out before I even make it. But I don't need it. This is what I'm saying. I don't have to chase Satan. They're already prosecuted. They're already surrounded with the evidence. This is literally nothing other than tightening the rope more and more around their own necks, because you're already surrounded. Everything that you're doing and the ways that you do it. What we are doing are exploring the ways in which you're going to federally prosecute and legislate around a very dangerous population that is present in the United States. And there are laws, federal laws, that need to exist and that already exist on the books to deal with this reality, which is no longer capable of being avoided. That's what's going on here. Okay, so I just want to document that that's relevant to what is harassment, workplace harassment, and terrorism, and sexual violence. Those are psychopaths entering into the laundry room, any means of creating what is loud noise, and they're doing it more so while they want to. They're fearful of the fact that I'm documenting. So I just want to be clear. I'm literally trying to translate the mental psychosis of the demon possessed. It's a combination of fear, and inferiority complex, but also wanting to put on some bravado. The demon possessed are very highly disturbed emotionally and mentally. And this is because you are inherently a disturbed individual. To focus on another person to the degree that you're witnessing. When is it that you are able to engage in what are hygiene, okay? And why are you're actually necessarily consumed with the hygiene of the targeted individual as well. This is inherent to the pattern of conduct. That's not normal, okay? And you're doing it like you're literally holding hands with a group of other people at all times, at all places. These demons are working together. That is speaking to a very high level of mental disturbance. This is the pattern of conduct, though. All of this is reasonably identified when you are looking at and analyzing what they are doing, where you are necessarily at mentally and psychologically and emotionally to engage in it. To literally get behind the wheel of, or whatever, I've never been in a helicopter or flown one, to get behind the wheel, get into that mode of transportation or flight to pursue a person. Because and also at that, because they're enforcing their rights. Understand the mental psychosis behind that. And then you're with all these little Section 8 minions, and I don't mean to put anybody down that is on assistance. I don't know what your personal situations are. I'm not attacking those in general that may be in general, genuine need for assistance out there in the world. But these are criminals. These are what I call welfare maggots. They're here abusing the system that they're acting with to criminally target another person. And this is speaking to what is a criminal system that they're underway. And these are literally the lowlifes. And in the spirit, these are maggots in the spirit. Okay. They're cockroaches of humanity. And I don't mean to diminish someone's value because, you know, we have a divine creator and who loves them, but they're not serving that creator. They're serving Satan, period. Okay. And the reality of when you are subservient to that entity, to that demon, to that demonic entity, that's exactly what you are. And that's exactly what manifests through your behavior. It's very disturbing behavior. It's very disturbing, necessarily speaking to the many dysfunctions that you suffer from. And this is speaking to also the reason why you're going to be, the children that you may have in custody, they're going to be removed from your custody. Absolutely. Okay. And I just want to be clear. This is speaking to, and it is necessary within that analysis. I'm not speaking to anything that's way far fetched. Any professional, any person engaging in any sort of analysis of what's going on with regard to this corrupt government and the people of the state who are in the shoes of the government, you're analyzing the criminal conduct, this public corruption issue. You are any person, would literally be able to sit back and analyze what they're doing and what that is telling you about those people. Nothing that I am stating is far-fetched whatsoever. It logically follows. Okay. So I want to be clear. It's 3:35 p.m. I want to document that's Carmen Careto of 1816, apartment number 5. She's already going to federal prison. If she's not a natural born citizen, her and her husband, again, after they serve their time, they are out of this country if they're not natural born citizens. And again, I also advocate those that have been granted like naturalization or whatever process that are available. I advocate revocation of that. This is, again, serious enough to substantiate such an act by the federal government. And it's actually not the act of the federal government. It's a criminal act by the state. And you're going to meet it with federal prosecution and federal legislation that is commensurate to the threat that they're posing to the lives of innocent Americans. Yeah, it's worthy of revoking any naturalization status that you might have been given. Yeah, no, you're not welcome here. You can go back to wherever you came from. Period. We have enough minions. Obviously, you're learning. We have enough here. Send them back to wherever they came from. All right. So anyway, it's currently 3:36 p.m. and you'll see in the still images what is impossible light activity, not only based on the light source that's here from morning until evening, not only based on the position of that light, the fact that it's appearing on the upward position of the walls. My shadow is appearing through this light while the window is at a distance and the sun is supposedly above us. There's no way that my shadow would appear upright on the wall that I'm facing when the sun is above us. Your shadow should be appearing on the ground. It's also impossible light activity while documentation establishes that the light source is in an entirely different region, such as the Fontana Lewis Library where I remained as I documented on March 22nd, 2022, as I documented also on March 23rd, 2022, when you're understanding what this Los Angeles Sheriff's Department are engaging in, okay? Because I want you to understand it's not just the Los Angeles Police Department. This is the state of California. And what these police departments are doing, they just happen to be the agencies that have access to helicopters. That's it. The Sheriff's Department, they're engaging in this demonic criminal activity in the jails. They're monitoring, they're engaging in psychological torture, they're engaging in what are kidnapping, they're engaging in what is all out abuse of their positions while a demonic force is operating in these jails, in these courts, on amongst these police departments. Okay, this is the reality. That's the structure of the government, by the way, what I just spoke to. That's the very structure, the core of the government, and it's entirely corrupt. Okay, so anyway, it's currently 3:37 p.m. and this is P.O.C.